Good sunny summer morning to you. I'm recording this video for people who aren't feeling sunny and summery on these days. Trigger warning, I'm going to discuss suicidal thoughts, ideation, suicide. And if that feels unsafe for you, please skip to the next video. And I wanted to speak today to provide my perspective and to normalize suicidal thinking, because it can be really scary when it first happens and think, oh my gosh, what's the matter with me? It's actually very common. Statistically speaking, most people by the time they reach adulthood will have at least considered suicide in a passing way at some point in their life. And I think there's a lot of shame around it and not a lot of people talking about it. So here I am talking about suicidal thinking. And the fact that I just think it makes sense when we live in a culture that tells us we need to be good capitalists, we need to be productive, we need to be socializing and extroverting and doing the things and buying the stuff. And we find ourselves in places of depression or anxiety where maybe we can't work, maybe we can't leave the house, maybe we can't see people. And the whole world and the whole culture is screaming at us that we are wrong. And our brains are problem-solving machines. And when you feel like a problem, it is only natural and only normal that one of the solutions your brain will come up with is that you should cease to exist and that you should not live, that you should unaliven yourself. And that perspective is so helpful for me because it allows me to detach from that. Oh, brain, you're doing that thing. I feel like a problem. You're trying to solve this problem. Actually, I'm not a problem. And being depressed and being anxious and living in those states is a valid part of humaning. It's a world that many people experience, and it is so very challenging, especially when it's prolonged, especially if you feel alone in it, especially if you don't have good support and good guidance. And so my heart just going out to folks in that place, because I have been in that place and it is an impossible place. But you are not alone, and people have walked this road ahead of you and are walking this road with you. And I hope that if you or someone you know struggles with suicidal ideation, there's an opportunity here to just notice that and notice that our brain is trying to give us solutions when we feel like a problem. And really what we need is some compassion for ourselves and some really good care from ourselves and from our community. We need to not feel ashamed for having those thoughts, because they are very understandable and very normal when we're in those places. And this is not to trivialize or minimize suicidal thinking. It is deadly, and losing folks to suicide is excruciating. But if we have the ability to have conversations about this, normalize it, reassure people, and provide them support, then hopefully we're not losing folks the way we've all lost folks. And so thank you for sitting with me through heavy talks. I hope that if this is you navigating these places, you can give yourself some really good self-compassion, some really good support. I always recommend Kristen Neff's work around self-compassion. She has a TED Talk you can look up on YouTube. She has a website, self-compassion.org, with journal prompts and resources. I hope that you can find community and peers that are walking the road of mental unwellness with you, that you can find good trained therapeutic helpers, which can also be really challenging. And I send you all the love in the world and the knowledge that nothing lasts forever, and that even when these underworld journeys feel like endless dark holes that you'll never climb out of, things are always shifting. And having come through the other side, there's always really rich lessons learned and really valuable insights and compassion and human depth that comes out of these shitty, shitty places. And so I'll leave it here, and do reach out if this stirs anything for you. I'd love to connect. Take really good care.